Hi, Nicholas from TMR now. A little scared of doing another Wunda Chair workout, but here we go. I'm presetting the chair one top, one bottom because you'll be lying on your back soonish. But before we lie on the back and enjoy what the Wunda Chair has to offer, we should warm up with some version of the 100. And have a look at a couple. So take your seat, as we did in the last session for single leg stretch, double leg stretch, take a seat at the back edge, side edge, and roll into it. And here you are. Now, breathing in, arms up, legs up high, and just breathe in and out 5 times. Slowly lower your legs. Two more. Knees in and roll up. That's one way to do the 100. And another, a little antisocial, lie face down, mind the lunch, breathing in. So you're lifting through your lower back, and I want you to pulse the arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, out. In. Out. In. 2 more. Bend your legs and then come up. So that was really to set your center and to get the posterior line ready for what we're about to do, which is semicircle. So recapping, one top, one bottom. You're going to lie down with your feet on the pedal. The practical, comfortable version is with your heels on the pedal. There's also a frog version with the feet sealed together like this, and the hard ass version is toes on, and that is cramp central for me. So I'm going heels on, and we're going to start this semicircle series with parallel legs, and you're going to pull the pedal down without arching the back. Just kind of check in. Should you push the chair a little further away, will that help you get your chair range? Pedal range, sorry. Pull and lift. It helps me. So as I'm pulling, I'm really working hard to avoid arching my lower back. 3 more. I'm also working the upper body down into the floor, so it's not a passenger. 1 more coming up. And you're just going to open the knees, so you're in that frog position, and now you're thinking of like knees coming out and wide, and inhale lifting up. And you should probably also check that you're centered on the chair. So as you pull down, you externally rotate the thigh, but you keep your pelvis neutral, and then lift the thighs up, rather than, as you're pulling wide, tucking or flattening your low back. Pull wide and lift high. 3 more. Two and 1. For those of you who are still crazy, 1 heel on, 1 leg up. Oh, it doesn't even move much, does it? But get some meat in the back of that leg. Reposition to where you get your good grip. 2. This is absolutely, definitively too heavy to do this, but I'm too lazy to get up. So if your setting is a bit lighter and you get some more swing, fab. If not, jump up, reset. I have an English friend who always says, manifestly such and such. I think it's so smart. Such a sucker for big words. 2 more. One. I've got fascinated by my own foot. Okay, just open the legs for a moment. And with the legs open, just let your pelvis rock back and forward and stretch through your lower back in a way, maintaining that open action. So we just looked at different versions of what we call floor frog as preparations for semicircle, which you might know from the reformer when your arms are overhead and you're sliding and whooping around. But here it's a little different. I'm going to stay in parallel and I'm going to do a pelvic curl. I'm going to pull the pedal. I'm going to unpelvic curl and I'm going to lift the pedal. Now this can also be done in external rotation where you go pull, roll, etc. But I have a little bit of a foot funky situation and I find it uncomfortable on the outside of my foot. So I'm going to stick with my heels. And again, exhale, pelvic curl. Try not to cheat by resting your toes on the top of the chair. Pull the pedal, unpelvic curl, lift the pedal. And pelvic curl, pull that bugger down, but don't drop it. Roll down with the chair, pedal moving as little as possible, and then lift. That's the whole deal. Let's reverse. Pedal, try not to let it move. Roll up, pedal lifts, you don't move, roll down. And I know in 2 reps I'm going to have a hamstring cramp. On the exhale, I pull, work the glutes and the abs and the arms and the shoulders. Sorry, once it's down, 2/3 the way, roll, pedal, body. So it goes body, pedal, or pedal, body, pedal, body. Pedal, body, pedal, body. Now, absolutely, press pause, do more of them. 5 or 10 or something. Or press pause and add in some single leg. Jeepers. Now, I would definitely drop the spring for a single leg because, as we saw earlier, it's quite firm. Alrighty. Yes, of course, let's do that. So, standing up. Wow, that was a real swinger. I'm keeping it 1 top, 1 bottom. Simple standing leg press. So the foot is up and a pulling down. Oh, that's a bit firm, but we'll do. Pull and lift. This is about my standing leg. So if I get my weight alive and really pushing into the floor with my right leg, the pedal's job is to throw me around and I have to resist that. 1 more. So the Wunda Chair, it's small and it's about bringing you in. There are like a handful of exercises where it's about big actions, but really it's a centering device in its format this way and also in its chair setting. And the idea is that the pedal, it's like really trying to push you off your center. So once you've got your shape, I'm pressing down through my left leg and I'm not letting the pedal pull me over. The pedal is your older brother when you're a kid, always trying to flatten you. I had 2 of them. I have 2 of them. Okay, let's add. Hands behind your head. By all means, reduce the tension on the pedal. Round body pull down. Round body lift up. Round your body pull down. Don't fall over, Nick. And then bring it up. So I'm still trying to stay upright, and on this heavy setting, 1 top, 1 bottom, it's not easy to come up. So I'm thinking I'm pressed down through my right leg like it's kicking back behind me, and that allows me to come up rather than what I often see people do, which is the pelvis go forward. So I'm coming down, I push down through my right leg, and I lift. And now crisscross, twist and curve to the pedal and unwrap. twist and curve, and unwrap. 3 to go. Breath is important. So is the sky, huh? Let's change sides. Whew. Okay. So my right leg is on the pedal and my left is on the floor. Now, if you're a purist, you never just chuck your stuff on like I did. You'd be alert, ready for your army portrait. The foot would go up, hands would go up, or you get the drift. Hands are behind the head, out wide, in front, somewhere that grounds you. I pull, no, I'm too far away. So really the length of your foot will set you up appropriately. Better. And then when you get down, it feels like you're being pushed back. So from the upright position, pull and lift. This leg is different for me because my two sides are differently put together. I have my mum's leg on my right and my dad's leg on my left. They're actually different shapes, which means that they interact differently with gravity and the ground. On the other side, I was naturally wanting to fall back. On this side, as I pull down, I want to fall forward. So it's always important to reset when you change side and process the information that's coming up from the ground in your brain and adjust. You can't have the same constraints and corrections, I guess, or feedback for both sides. It often doesn't work. One more. I only needed you to do 6. I just had to talk about myself for a minute. Just stretch back if you want. It just always busts up my left quad. I always feel that. And that's because in my posture, I often stand, when I'm relaxed, hip out to the left. So the outside line of my left leg is kind of over here. Generally, that means my right side is tighter because it's been pulled off center. And this is, I don't want to say weak or overstretched, but that's the vibe that I get from it. So what you feel when you do it in your exercises, in my opinion, is a reflection on how you live in a static posture, or at rest, shall we say. Okay, so I'm back on. I'm going to pull, and that was my cue to add the curve. 6. Oh, that was terrible. Come on, buddy. Get it together. And lift. Rounding over. Rounding over. Oh, it feels nice. That deep stretch through my spine. And the reminder for me is to not tuck and compress my lower back. One more. That was a sweet sound, wasn't it? Can be quite sweet. Twist. Oh gosh, that's rough as guts. So as you rotate, you curve. Rotate and I curve. And my internal fight is I want to fall into the chair. So how am I going to not fall into the chair? I'm going to press back through my waist and low back to anchor me. There's such a huge conversation happening in my left leg and foot about stability. But what I'm finding now is I'm starting to really feel that oblique connection from crisscross and saw. And I'm just telling myself to hunt for that connection and to enjoy the abdominal work because the left thigh is about to melt off my bone like a slow-cooked lamb shank. All right, I know I'm dramatic at times. What's next? What's next? Soleus press. Fab. Knee is going to hit with control the back edge. Back leg straight, front leg bent. Body line long, hands behind your head. And you point the foot to push the pedal down and you drop the heel to lift the toe. I'll just turn side on and hands behind your head. I'm going to do it down here though. So if Hands behind your head makes you feel unbalanced. Try this. Now, the goal is square hips, square shoulders, to not get too consumed with the point. We can all point our foot, right? We can all plantar flex because that's a huge ingredient of walking. We're all good at it. What we're rubbish at is languishing in this toe up, heel down moment. And that moment, developing the front of your shin, is key for running and walking and jumping. And for building that support in 3 dimensions around your lower leg. So enjoy this horrible bit here. So toe up, heel down. 2 more. Okay, let's change side. So toe is on, control fall into the chair, kneecap at the back edge, hands or fists, or hands behind your head. Now, if you prefer the classical position of the bird's nest under your patella, go for it. So my focus is on finding the length through both sides of my pelvis as I pull my toes up and not copping out and shortening. So I might just do this. I'm not going to push into my full point. Don't need it these days. What I do need is develop shin muscles and controlled dorsiflexion or toes up or flat foot or Birkenstocks. Some of them are so pretty and some are so ugh. Three more. Now, I tend to do kind of a couple of sets of 10 of these in my own time because it feels good second time round. First time always feels a bit peculiar. Last one. There we are. Beautiful. Okay, now, kind of feeling a little better through my hips and legs. Okay, so we looked at hundreds on top and face down, semicircle, leg frog, parallel turned out, standing press front with the curl with the crisscross, soleus press. Beautiful, sides. Okay, so 1 medium, 1 top. Gonna line aside. And this will be a combo. So we'll start actually, oh, that's a bit of fun and drama. Imagine if we had a fan and like a big, whee. No, just me. Gonna have some fun, right? So what I want you to do. Think feet down, ribs up. So you're curving like this is the top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Pull away from the pedal and now reverse it, lift up. Let's do half a dozen. Top of the bridge and then roll up sideways. Stretch, open this up. And then the opposite curve. Pull, pull, pull. Opposite curve. Just watch the head hasn't fallen forward like moi. Let's say that's enough. Bend your bottom leg around. Stretch the other leg in line, toes line up. Arms out into T, side bend, mermaid. Twist, hand to the pedal. Untwist, up you come. Over, twist, undo, upsy dupsy, and again. Over, twist, untwist. You don't have to be too prescriptive about this. Now here, lift the chest, push and curve. Lift and curve. And come out of there. All right, I'll turn the chair around. You're going to change side. Get this out of the way. Okay, so make your way down. Now we're looking to lift this in and up, away from parallel to the floor, and then you lift. Lift, stretch. Lift, lift. Pull it up, right up, arching. Lift, lift. I think there I rolled my hip back. I'm going to avoid that. Pull away from the pedal, go up to the ceiling. We are trying to, me, I'm definitely trying to not lower my legs to lift, but it definitely is happening today. Okay, from there, bend your bottom leg. Toes line up. And if it's preferable, have your outside leg, butt cheek, hanging off the side. Arms up and side bend. And lift. So let's aim for 5 or 6. Then we'll add the twist, and then we'll add the squash lunge. Now, mermaid is about length, mainly on this side, right? The exposed side. But sometimes it's nice to think about this underside, especially if you're squashed or uncomfortable. Mermaid's not about pushing the pedal all the way down and lifting this hip. It's an exercise that can be both strengthening and stretching, even in its most basic form. It's not supposed to be uncomfortable or compressive. Rotate to the pedal. Unrotate. Get up. I don't remember if I did it this way on the other side, I'm sorry. So you'll deal with it, you're a grown-up. Someone walked by with a mask half off his nose and mouth. It just makes me think of the cartoon of the comparison of a mask to underwear. You get the gist. And let's go over and stretch down and lift up into extension. Stretch down and lift up into extension. One more. Up, up, up. And then make your way up. Just let your insides have a bit of a break of being compressed. Just let them arch back and forward a few times. While I cheat and look down at my notes. Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay. Horseback. Gross, what a horrible thing to do. Now I'm keeping it one on top, and depending on the size of your frame and the size of your chair, this can be great or completely impractical and potentially uncomfortable. If you're narrow, if you're petite, and the chair is wider than, well, I guess the chair is wider than all of us. So what am I trying to say is that if the open leg position is uncomfortable to think about lifting up from, then what I want you to do is try it with bent legs with your feet digging into here. If you have a harder chair with a literally harder surface, pop some padding around your thigh where it intersects with the chair. But let's just try this. Legs straight, hands low. Breathing in. Oh, am I going to fall off the back? The old ample butt cheeks these days. So breath in. And as I exhale, I'm going to lift up off the platform of the chair by magic, hocus pocus. And I'm going to roll down and touch the pedal. I'm going to come up. I'm going to do that again. I'm trying not to lower my legs. I'm trying not to lower my butt. And then on the last one, I'm going to lift up and then sit down. That's an intro to horseback on the Wunda Chair. As you become more accomplished or tolerable, it'll be bigger. You'll push down more, you'll lift up more, you'll get your hips up higher. But right now, let's just look at the stock of this exercise. Why? I don't know. Squeeze in a little bit. From here, breath in. Exhale, see if you can lift up off the chair and commence your roll down. And you're going to press. And you're going to lift. And you're going to press. I've made fists. Give it a go. One more. And lift. Now from here, without dropping, arms up. And then the weight comes down as you come down. Bend your legs. Now, if you can make it bigger in all directions, you go for it. This is enough for me right now. Okay, breath in. Breath out. Hands up here this time, just like on the reformer. Straighten your legs. And lift. Curve. Lift without lowering the legs too much. Hands to the pedal and press. Open the lower back to the ceiling. Pull it up. So it's really the abs that roll the body up here. And good job. Okay, now you can add all sorts. You can do it with straight arms doing a roll down from the top. You can lower your leg to help drive you up. You can do 3 pulses, 1 pulse, 16 pulses of the pedal, whatever you want. Just keep playing with this kind of straddle position and developing your spine stretch forward in a very impractical, uncomfortable way. Yes, indeed. Star prep. Okay. This is foul, I'm not going to lie. It's one of the most ridiculous exercises. So impressive when people can do it. I cannot. Think of one-armed pull-up on the side. So stand at the side of the chair, press the pedal down, and now safety thoughts around falling off here are very important. This hand goes here. And you're in your side bend, okay? Now, star is when you're in this position and you somehow freakishly manage to lift the pedal. I have colleagues and clients who can do it, so bravo to them. But one of the issues for mere mortals like me is that we're not used to doing things in this star position. So our job today is to build your familiarity with that. Press the pedal down, hand goes on, pelvis jumps forward. If you're very new to this, think about the side kneeling kick exercises from the mat. Hand here, pelvis forward, hand behind the head. Now my first job is to not elbow bend and sink. It's to square up. You're going to see a lot of my belly. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to lift the outside leg and take it down. It's a great stretch actually as I pull it down and squeeze it down. And again, squeeze it down. Squeeze it down. Okay, forward, up, around. We're just doing 3 in each direction. Back, up, like that. So press through the right hand onto the platform. Work the pedal down into the floor. One more round. Last one. And then come up. Whew. So as hard as that is to not crumble into the chair, it feels fantastic. Nice sense of accomplishment, and my hip feels really free after doing that circle. I wish my legs would go that far back. Anyway, let's press this down. Okay. Bear weight. Just get used to it on this side because I am different, as explained earlier. Side lift and lower. Lift, and as I get more comfortable, I can get down. A yoga block on top would have helped me, but they're at home in the carport studio right now. And you can't have everything, right? But I can feel how compressed I am on this side. So if you feel unable to side bend with comfort, lift up somehow. Get out the Yellow Pages or Stephanie Alexander cookbook or the Silver Spoon, because this is about getting tolerance and comfort in your side bend to then do more complicated things. And who cares how high this needs to be, huh? Okay, circle. 3 each way. I go back, I kick up, and I bring it around in front. Now, it can be fairly narrow like mine is, or you can really chase the corners of the room, which makes it much harder. Forward as high as you can, side as high as you can, back as high as you can, and down, last time. Like that. Okay, we step off. And last exercise, 2 springs on the bottom or 1 on top, depending on your preference. Stand at the back edge of the chair, which is the side edge, both arms up. Roll down. Now, I catch the pedal with my left hand, my right hand brushes backward and up. The palm of my hand faces you, which is forward, and then I reach it up higher as I pull the pedal up. I reach it further around the corner as I push it down. What I'm trying to not do is bring it down. I want it up. And I want it up. And then I circle and I roll. Change sides. Okay, so I stand at the back edge. I get my arms ready. I lift them up. I'm rolling down. My right hand will connect. My left hand brushes. Brusher. Just wriggle out a bit. And my palm is going around the corner. I'm trying to square myself off. I roll up. And I push down. I come up. And I try and get more reach out of that top arm without leaning into my postural asymmetries. Last time, reach, circle, and up. There we go. There's another little home wonder workout. I hope you have enjoyed learning about some different exercises on the Wunda Chair, and I hope you have at least flushed some stuff out of your body and had a lovely time, because I have. See you very soon.